Where do I start? I've been working for the CDC for 10 years now. I was assigned to help study Ebola since the outbreak in Africa. Although Ebola caused many deaths, to me it wasn't a real concern. Let me explain. Ebola stayed 97% the same since first discovered in 1976. Ebola was also a stable virus with a relatively constant mutation rate that was dormant. This made all of us comfortable at the CDC. Of course, when Ebola came to the US, we were a little surprised. It was all hands on deck. We amped up our cure research to a pre-disaster point. We were working nonstop and living off of caffeine. I still remember that this is when I completed my first 24-hour shift. It was a lot of hard work, but it was only that much more satisfying when we declared Ebola was no longer in the United States. Finding a vaccine was still an extremely problematic project. First off, studying the virus is almost impossible, and it is exceptionally dangerous. Second, the virus is a very small target, so to speak. If all of that wasn't enough, Ebola also evolves rapidly. This means that once a vaccine is produced, it could be rendered useless soon after, due to an evolved virus. I've recently been promoted to the head of the research and study of the Ebola virus. This was a great moment in my life, and to make it better, soon after my promotion, our strand of Ebola mutated. This is amazing news because the strand we've been studying mutated into a strand that was harder to spread. My friends at the CDC and myself celebrated the news and went out for drinks. 2 weeks after our strand of Ebola mutated, the strand mutated again. The strand knew it could not survive if it did not infect many victims. Because of this, the strand became much more contagious, and therefore much deadlier. Our strand of Ebola became an airborne virus. I feel awful and afraid for anyone reading this. The truth is, you will die, and I won't. See, we all know what's going to happen. The CDC, the government, all of us. We can't do anything but prepare until we have the vaccine. The government won't tell the public because they can't help everyone before the outbreak hits, and it would just cause useless panic. They're all gonna die anyway. You'll all die anyway. All of the government employees are being spared without their knowledge. When the outbreak hits, all of us will be led into a facility full of supplies that will last us until we can control the situation. Now it's only a matter of time before the Ebola virus mutates in the wild. We will be praying that it takes a year for the virus to mutate and cause an outbreak, but it's likely to take only 7 months. At the current rate, it's projected to take a little over a year for us to finish the vaccine. Once patient 0 is infected, 92% of the population will die within the first 3 months. After that, most of the survivors will live. After the first 3 months, it'll probably take another 6 months before the virus is dormant. By that time, we will hopefully have a vaccine, and the government will start helping survivors. Like I said, you're probably going to die, but you can survive. Buy masks, canned food, water, and other essential survival supplies, and air filters that block out small microorganisms. Stay indoors for a good 3 months then. Most of the population will be dead, so you won't likely catch the virus. Don't worry about buying a lot of guns and ammo. Just have enough to protect yourself and your family. Once the virus is under control, the government will have no problem taking over and ruling what's left of the world. Good luck to all of you, and Godspeed. Hey there, Mr. Happens here. So, I don't know about you guys, but what really hits home is when these stories tend to be on the more realistic, believable side, just like this one. Let's face it, everybody has an end of the world idea. Zombie outbreak, giant meteor, disease. I mean, we've got games like, The Last of Us, all of that end up taking after a huge apocalypse. Let's face it, this scary as shit. Definitely scary as shit. Well, if we all haven't died from a horrible mutated Ebola virus, I will see you all next time.